There are lands where fear never leaves, where people live on the border between light and evil. And there, a child was born, not to be protected but to fight. Scene appears, bridge construction site in the middle of a misty forest. A man is sweating Francis, the main character. Francis, an ordinary construction worker, no money, no power. But on that seemingly ordinary day, his destiny changed. Not because of a work accident, not because of the money he earned, but because of a strange woman who appeared from the crowd as if coming out of a dream. Alagaan mo ang iyong asawa, ang anak nyo, siya ang magiging liwanag sa dilim ng Baryonay. Protect your wife and child. That child will be the light in the darkness of this village. No one knows who she is. No name, no explanation. She just says it and then quietly disappears, leaving a question hanging in Francis' mind. How did she know his wife was pregnant? Scene change, dark night, insects chirping. The screen slowly pans to a small wooden house, dim yellow lights, the wife cooking. From that moment, strange things begin to happen. Shadows pass Yila the window at midnight. A strong fishy smell in the air at dusk. And a pair of red eyes staring at the unborn child. Zoom slowly into the face of the wife touching her belly, worried. No one knows that the fetus in Francis' wife's belly is more than just a child. It is the gate. The sign, the starting point of a war that will last for generations. Batang kinakatakutan ng BATANG Aswang. The one that even the demons dare not touch. There are lands that seem peaceful but hide something older than darkness. And here, the story begins with a poor man, Francis, a man with nothing except his calloused hands and a small belief in tomorrow. Shot. Francis, thin, sweaty shirt, is picking up bricks, wiping his forehead, his eyes tired but determined. Francis, exhaling. Let's stop working overtime today. Lily's wife is about to give birth. Kaloy, a close, funny friend, approaches. They sit together on the side of the road, the red afternoon light spreading on their faces. Kaloy. That sounds strange. If you take a day off from work, it's a big deal. Have you thought of a name? Francis, laughing lightly. Any name is fine. As long as the mother and child are safe. The scene is soft and warm, but suddenly the wind changes. The air seems to thicken. A woman in white dress, her hair tied in a bun, walks out from the end of the road. She walks slowly. Her eyes are fixed on Francis. Narrator. She did not come as a stranger but as if she knew them before. The woman stops in front of Francis. She looks at him with a gentle but strange gaze. The background music swells softly. Strange woman, in a steady voice. The child in your wife's belly will change this land. Protect it at all costs. Close up, Francis' eyes widen, Kaloy stops dead. Francis, hesitantly. Who are you? How do you know? No answer. She just smiles, turns around, and disappears into the evening shadows, as if melting into thin air. Kaloy, speaking softly, eyes still fixed on where she went. I saw her, but it felt so warm. Strange. The shot fades away. The two men stand in the twilight, the light fading, leaving a spreading darkness. From that moment on, Francis was no longer a normal father-to-be. He was caught up in a prophecy opening the gates of the unnamed. Something was awakening. And the child in his wife's womb was the key. 9 months after that fateful meeting, child was born. No thunder. No lightning. Just a cold wind blowing through the thatched roof, a sign that a new era was beginning. Shot, Jessa holds the newborn Simon. Francis places his hand on his head, a gentle smile on his worried face. Simon, a simple but suggestive name because from the day he was born, everything began to change. Scene change, 2 years later, Lily picture, little angel. Morning scene. Simon, 2 years old, sharpening the pencil, his black eyes sparkling. Narrator. Unlike other children, Simon never cried without reason. He listened and understood. He understood his mother's worries. He understood the weariness in his father's eyes. And he understood the whispers that no one else heard. Simon is silent as he walks through the alley, looking at an abandoned house. The trees around him sway slightly, not because of the wind. Simon whispers, "Mom, I see someone standing on the ceiling." Jessa, startled. "Don't talk nonsense. There's no one there." Scene at night. Simon sits near the window, his eyes following the darkness. The sound of insects stops. The wind stops. Something is coming. Horror night when darkness comes round. Camera shakes slightly, sound like wind tearing. A black hand, full of sharp claws, pushes the window frame open. Jessa screams, "Like ye, enoy baby." Francis rushes in, pulling the covers up, but freezes when he sees the half-bodied body of an aswang trying to drag Simon out. The aswang roars but suddenly stops. It looks straight into Simon's eyes and backs away. Aswang screaming, "It's that child. It can't be, it can't be." The aswang runs away. The window bangs. Simon sits there, calm, as if he knew this would happen. Albulario meeting, year decryption, destiny. The next morning, an old man visits. He holds a rosary, an amulet around his neck. It is Mang Pablo, the old albulario. He looks at Simon, then kneels down as if before a holy being. Albulario whispers, "It is Pangontra. The child born between times has the power to weaken the aswang. No spell is as powerful as its gaze." Francis is stunned. Jessa hugs him tighter. They both understand, from now on, Simon will no longer live like other children. Francis, full of panic. No one chose my child. He is my child, not weapon against evil." Albulario calmly. No one chose him, but he was born to be like this. Family tension, keep Mili child or late David child, eh? That night, husband and wife sit ila de oilam. Wind blows through the crack in the door, dogs howl in the distance. Jessa, red eyes. "We have to hide this. No one can know. He is just a child." Francis, pounding the table. "But what if they come back? What if he is targeted again?" Simon looked through the crack in the door, listening quietly to every word, his eyes not afraid but understanding. Simon, whispering very softly, "I won't let anyone get caught again, not even you." Since that fateful night, Simon has been the center of attention. No one dared to approach him, but everyone secretly observed him. The way the Aswangs trembled when they saw him made the villagers both respect and fear him. Simon was walking through the village market. The vendors pretended to smile, but their eyes followed, unfriendly. The boy stopped in front of a man, his eyes turned. Simon, coldly whispering, "You are not human." The man froze. His eyes turned red for a moment, then he bowed his head and disappeared. The people around him were in an uproar, but no one said anything. Ni village chief's face revealed, "Ye learned man human clothes." The scene shifts to the house of village chief Capitan Chavez. Simon, Francis, and Kaloy secretly eye on Capitan as he receives a stranger at night. Narrator: Chavez, the so-called leader, is actually the biggest link in a chain of demons. He is the bridge between the darkness and the people. Remote camera. Capitan receives black bag from a strange man. Inside are fingernails, hair, and human blood. "Gift for the next sacrifice," he said softly. Francis clenched his fist. Kaloy trembled. Simon just closed his eyes, silently nodding. "Simon, I smell it, the stench is everywhere. He is no longer human. Journey into darkness, finding me the demons later." Scene: the group of apat, Francis, Kaloy, Simon, and Albulario Mang Pablo, leave the village at dusk, heading towards the jungle. Mang Pablo: "They no longer live in the dark. Now they live among us. But there is a place where the light has never reached, that is the real lair." Cuts, footsteps on dry leaves, wind whistling, owls hooting. They go deeper into the forest. A cold wind blows. Simon, whispering, "Stop. There are people." Ambushed, human or demon? Suddenly, gunshots. From the bushes comes a group of people with guns and ropes. Not Aswangs, real people. They are subdued, handcuffed, and dragged into an abandoned wooden hut. Leaders smirking. Just lost villagers. What pity, but the demons are paying a high price. A living person for a whole bag of rice. Francis, angrily. "You people sell people to demons?" Leader, calmly. "The Aswangs only eat the weak. The strong like us live off of them." Close-up of Simon's face, his eyes glowing pale purple. Not fear, not anger, but disappointment. Simon, quietly. "I thought demons were scary, but humans are even scarier." Underground battle, Bay Yes Yili real monster. Night falls. The human traffickers prepare to deliver. The Aswangs emerge from the shadows of the forest, eyes glowing red, screaming. But as soon as they see Simon, the pack stops. Aswang, whispering fearfully, "It's that kid. Pangontra." The demons turn and run. The armed men panic, turning their guns on Simon, thinking he is the cause. Francis rushes to cover his son. Kaloy rises to fight back. Carrying Pablo throws a spell, creating a smoke screen to blind the retreat. Emily breaks out. Some die. Some beg. The Aswang disappears in the chaos. Finally, Francis' group escapes, lost, hurt, and full of doubt. Warning Ban Ti Wang. Scene: Francis holds his son, blood dripping from his hand, looking at the sleeping village. Simon stands alone on the hill, the wind blowing his hair. His eyes look far away, where the darkness still lives. Narrator: We often call the scary thing monster, but when people sell their souls for food and clothing. When silence becomes complicity. Then, who is really a ghost? When evil is no longer hidden, it begins to demand blood. And tonight, that evil has called out to 3 people as a prelude to a brutal sacrifice. Close up, Francis bows his head, blood dripping from his forehead. Kaloy tries to smile weakly, and Mang Pablo closes his eyes and chants silently. The ritual begins, the eyes darkness. From across the clearing, Capitan Chavez steps out, his head wrapped in red cloth, his eyes pitch black. The ritual chant echoes. Chavez, laughing irreverently, his voice hoarse. Your lives will appease the hunger of our ancestors. Scene: People stand around, half silent and fearful, the other half are red-eyed, pale-skinned people, Aswangs in human form. Old people, women, children are all deceived. A village blackened from within. Francis, screaming. You swore to protect the villagers. And you sold them to the devil? Chavez. I didn't sell them. I was saving myself and those who obeyed. Ye appearance, ye balance, ye world. Just as the sacrificial blade is about to strike, the wind picks up. The ritual fire sways, the trees shake for no reason. A child's voice rings out from the forest, loud, as if from deep within the earth. Simon, of voice decisive. Stop. Everyone stops. From the darkness, Simon appears. The moonlight shines on his face, his eyes glow silvery blue. Citizens murmur. It's him, the child who made the demon run away. Close up, Capitan Chavez suddenly takes a step back. His skin begins to crack, revealing the dark gray skin underneath. He reveals his true form, half human, half beast body, long tongue, sharp claws. Chavez, roaring, eyes bloodshot. Why? Should have died yan iya. Simon, calmly. It's because I'm alive that people like you are starting to fear. The battle emerges, light meets darkness. The Aswangs charge forward with a roar, but as they approach Simon, they all stop as if blocked by an invisible wall. Some of them convulse, then collapse. At that moment, the real people, parents, children, begin to understand the truth. Narrator: In the moment when death seems imminent, faith comes back to life. No spells, no magic. Only the belief that this child is the balance of both darkness and light. Francis is untied, and Kaloy and Albulario counterattack. They use torches, machetes, and clubs against the chaotic Aswangs. A bloody battle erupts between real people, real demons, and traitors. Lili en, Lili ole, Lili darkness retreat. Capitan Chavez tries to get up, but takes a step back as Simon's eyes follow him. He loses his claws, blood flows black, and then he collapses. The remaining Aswangs flee. The people look at Simon no longer like a child. Albulario, speaking softly, his hand on Simon's shoulder. You were not born to destroy demons. You were born to restore balance to what humans have let go too far. Final scene, Simon stands in the middle of the village square. Below his feet is dried blood and a dying fire. Above, the full moon is red as blood. But this time, the wind is no longer howling. And for the first time the village is truly peaceful. Narrator slowly. When the night ends, people will forget their fears. But never will they forget the name Simon. The one who made the devil bow and forced men to face the darkness within themselves. Simon sat alone on the wooden steps, his eyes looking far away, holding a small, scorched amulet. When the devil retreats, people often think that everything is over. But there are wars not fought with claws and blood, but with choices. Ye the mystery returns, ye woman now white. A strange wind blew Eli. Simon raised his head. From the end of the village road, the woman in the white dress from that day appeared again. Her face had not aged at all, her smile was gentle, but her eyes were deep as if she had lived through 100 lifetimes. Strange woman, looking at Simon gently. You have chosen your path, Simon. But now it is time to know the truth. Francis and Jessa stepped forward, standing in front of their son. They are exhausted, but their eyes are still burning with protection. Francis, who are you? Eli, do you always appear when my son is in danger? Woman, I have not come to harm but to warn. The child you call Simon has never been a normal child. He is the blood of light and darkness. Simon stands up, slowly walking towards her. Simon, in a low but firm voice. So do you have choice? Woman, nodding. You can hide. Live like normal person, go to school, grow up, fall in love. But remember, the Aswang will always come to you, wherever you are. Because in their eyes you are not a person. You are a fire that threatens the whole species. Decline, leave me village, fight destiny. Francis and Jessa stay up all night, discussing, arguing. Jessa wants to leave, start over. Francis wants to stay, train his son. Simon, silently, watches them both from afar, as if he knows what they are choosing. Francis, I didn't give birth to earn my son to be a weapon. But I can't let him become victim either. Jessa, tears in her eyes. So what do we do? Hide him? Or send him out to fight a world that wants to kill him? Silence. Wind blows. The trapdoor opens and Simon is there. Simon, voice mature beyond his years. I don't want to hide anymore. Last goodbye the normal life. The family of 3 prepares to leave the village. The villagers line up to see them off, their eyes filled with both gratitude and regret. Mang Pablo gives Simon an amulet, now just a symbol. He doesn't need it anymore. Mang Pablo, putting his hand on Francis' shoulder. Not everyone has the courage to raise a child that the whole world wants to destroy. But maybe that's how I chose you. Simon looks back at the village one last time, where he learned to walk, to talk, to be afraid, and then to face his fear. The wind begins to pick up. The air turns gray. A cold wind blows across his face. Narrator slowly concluding. Simon leaves. Not as a child. Not as a hero. But as a symbol that the darkness fears. Because he is what the devil cannot control. A man but not subdued Ela the darkness. Simon's eyes flash silver blue. He turns, walking into the deep forest. Behind is the old world. Ahead is what no one dares to name. Pangontra. New Legend begins, and the sequel will not be just a child story, but the war between two worlds.